Well, it happened. Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson.
The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script.
How scripted in what way?
No, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so.
So, what do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It's odd, bro.
The timing. It's a timing.
I mean,
He
it's
fights
obviously
two-
odd.
No, he fights two no-names, beats them both.
The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight has been widely branded by critics and boxing experts as a scripted spectacle rather than a legitimate competition. Fans were hoping for an entertaining clash, but the fight ended up disappointing many, leading to allegations that it was orchestrated for business purposes. Former boxer Carl Froch, speaking to the Metro, expressed his belief that Tyson may have been restricted by contract terms that prevented him from truly trying to hurt Jake Paul. Froch speculated that if Tyson had been allowed to land a powerful left or right hook, he could have knocked Paul out. However, Froch doubted such an outcome was ever possible, suggesting that the fight appeared fixed to favor Paul.
I don't know what pleasure you can take from beating an old Mike Tyson. I don't.
I believe he actually won the first 2 rounds. Jake Paul probably won the rest of them. Mike Tyson's legs were gone, man. They were gone. And I believe Ryan, I got to get Ryan credit on this one, man. Because Ryan from Sports Wars, he did say that there would be like a no knockout clause. Now, Jake Paul, going into the fight, I believe he's put down every single fighter he's actually been against. Now, he's only fought one boxer before Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson, man, is 58 years old. And I watched this, man, because I grew up watching the real Mike Tyson. That was the greatest spectacle you ever saw in your life.
Evander Holyfield, a fellow boxing legend, openly criticized the fight, suggesting something felt off with Tyson. Holyfield's comments added to the speculation that Tyson was not at his best and that external factors may have impacted the fight.
What did you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg.
Yeah, the knee.
So he couldn't, his balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. You know, overall, like, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
Well, you know, I'm like, he's a pretty good fighter.
Fans had modest expectations for the fight, but the outcome proved even more disappointing than anticipated. Promoted as a thrilling clash between a YouTube sensation and a legendary boxer, the match fell flat, coming across as a lackluster, business-focused event that failed to deliver the excitement it promised.
This fight sucked gorilla balls. I hated it. A roided-up 27-year-old fighting a 58-year-old senior citizen should have been illegal in the first place. I was already expecting to be disappointed, but was still blown out of the water with how bad it really was. I called it back in March, saying that this fight would suck, and that the Paul sisters were very good at generating hype only to deliver a letdown, and both those things happened. But still, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was a giant economic success. The Netflix servers were overloaded with how many people were trying to watch it. So money grab fights and mediocrity are now literally being celebrated. And it's so sad to see how far the business of boxing has really fallen. This is why Dana White is the absolute best when it comes to the fight game. Say what you will about him, but he is the John Jones of promoters. Every week he puts on fights where the best fights the best. No gimmick bullshit. And I hear Jake Paul is going to be announcing his next opponent really soon.
Fans tuned in hoping for a nostalgic throwback as Mike Tyson faced off against Jake Paul. Instead, they were met with what many described as a hollow and staged event.
Headbutts or not, they went in. But yo, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. What do we got? Mike Tyson is 58 years old. Jake Paul is 27. 31-year difference. Most of us wanted to see Mike Tyson win. The nostalgia, we rock with Mike. A lot of us support Mike. Jake Paul, you know, the famous YouTuber that stepped into boxing, and I'm not gonna say he's made a mockery of boxing because he is a real fighter. He is a real boxer. He has boxed professionally. He is knocking a bunch of people out. I'm not trying to put him in the real class of our real boxers. We're not doing that shit, of course. But I respect Jake Paul, though. I mean, we're not gonna go that far. We're not gonna kill him. So this was never really touted to be no real shit. A 31-year-old difference. But the fact that we support Mike, just imagine if Mike would have got in there and just happened to land one of the motherfuckers. and put Jake Paul in his ass. Man, I tell you, the nostalgia and the beauty in that would have been crazy. But by the time we got to about the third round, Mike stopped throwing punches. He stopped throwing punches. He had about 30 seconds of the first round where he looked dangerous. About 30 seconds. That's it. He came out. He was moving. Ooh, 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 ooh. Mike looking fast and sharp. Got up there during the weigh-ins with a six-pack. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Mike, is he on steroids or some shit?
For Tyson's loyal supporters, it was a painful reminder that time spares no one, not even the greatest of champions. For Mike Tyson's loyal supporters, watching their hero in this state was a heartbreaking experience. What was supposed to be a showcase of his enduring spirit turned into a spectacle that many felt tarnished his legacy.
Alright, I'm not even gonna sit around and wait for the result of that Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. That was the most pointless, stupid fight in the history of boxing. That was absolutely pathetic. Netflix couldn't even get your streaming situation figured out. What was that? Everybody's stream was lagging. You couldn't even figure that situation out. And then your first big launch of this like new sports streaming thing that you want to do is this Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight where Mike Tyson is clearly, I love Mike. Love him. My dad is a massive, massive Mike Tyson fan. He was texting me saying how depressing it was for him to watch this. Jake Paul was selling it, I'm gonna kill Mike Tyson. I'm gonna fuck him up. And what happened? He showed mercy to Mike Tyson in the ring because Mike Tyson just didn't have it anymore. He had no legs under him. If you don't want to hurt the guy, why are you fighting him? Just to con us? To con people into buying more Netflix subscriptions? This fight sucked.